Welcome, what is up? Thank you for tuning back into the Chaos Slayer. Of course, I'm Chris Chaos here with your Raw 411 for January the 30th, 2017. Just take a deep breath and just wait. It's going to get better. And tonight's Raw was pretty good. From top to bottom, the whole show was pretty good. But I do want to say that you know that it's Wrestlemania season when the overrun to Monday Night Raw is better, more exciting than the entire 3 hours leading up to it. It's almost like we're watching a 3-hour pre-show to get 3 minutes of something totally awesome. Welcome to the road to WrestleMania. I'm just going to try to run down the show bit by bit. I wasn't going to do this, but I decided that's the best way to just go back and do it. Jericho and Owen starts off the show. They're bragging, of course. Braun comes out and explains why he interfered in the match, which was good. We needed an explanation. And, you know, contrary to many people's beliefs, it's that Roman Reigns was going to come out and demand it, and then he'd come out and give it. Or say, on my time, or something like that. But no, he just comes straight out and says, I hate Roman Reigns. And you promised me a title match, and I want my match against you, and I want it tonight. Foley agrees. The match is made. Although Kevin tries to get out of it, Foley and Steph, I don't know how that dichotomy is going to work, but anyway. Jericho versus Sami Zayn. I will take this match any day of the week. Zayn wins, and I hope that we get a U.S. title match. Maybe they'll start working a story. I don't know. It's going to be hard for them to work because Jericho will have to work 2 stories if they do it. And with him being the United States champion, he's going to have to work 2 stories anyway. It's going to be really hard to not confuse the audience. So WWE needs to be very, very careful on how they do it. But it was a great match. Tony Nese and Mustafa Ali had a great match. Tony Nese with the win. By the way, I do want to point out and give props to Chris Jericho. 4 hours, 56 minutes and 59 seconds. The longest cumulative time in the Royal Rumble, which is pretty fucking badass, if you ask me. I'm just glad that he, I don't know who would be closest to being able to do that. I would think maybe Randy Orton. But everybody else that's on the list is either retired or we haven't seen them, or like with Triple H is probably not going to be in another Royal Rumble. We hope anyway, unless the situation calls for it. But 60 minutes and 13 seconds, not 61. Even though Jericho, you know him trying to go even further and more over than he already is. Seth freaking Rollins and Stephanie. That segment, I can't do it justice by me trying to explain how good it is. If you're watching this video and you haven't watched Monday Night Raw, I urge you to go on to YouTube because I'm sure at some point it's going to be up there. Go to WWE.com. WWE app may have it. I don't know. They'll probably have that segment. The app probably will. Seth, I said cross the line, and he did. And he crossed it. Because it makes for good TV. It really does. And it makes it seeing it from the perspective of Triple H, it makes him even more angry and more, okay, I'm coming to kick your ass now. You stepped over the line. You're trying to involve my children in this. It's one thing to poke fun at me, to call me a coward. It's another thing for you to insult my wife, but now you're bringing my kids into it, but you can't have it. Bailey and Cesaro and Sheamus versus Charlotte and the Club. Charlotte threw up the 2 sweet, and I still don't know how I feel about that. I'm still waiting for Matt to get back at me, but whatever. I guess I'll just live with it. Dana Brooke did it last year when she teamed with him in a 6-man, or a 6-person, excuse me. So I guess I'll let it go. Neville and Swan, man, Neville is so good. He is so good. And Rich came out and said the exact thing to push Neville to make him react to this whole king persona. And it's really, really good work that this makes the rematch. It's going to mean way more than the first one ever did. And I can't wait to see what they do tomorrow night on 205 Live. I hope they don't have the rematch for the title tomorrow night. I hope they push it back and they really elevate the meaning of the rematch. And, God, these two guys can just go. I thoroughly enjoyed it. I rewatched that match last night, today. I rewatched the whole the Rumble pay-per-view today, but man, that match was so good. The Universal title, Kevin Owens versus Braun Strowman. Roman interfered like we all knew he should, or everyone should have known by now. Kevin Owens is not going to beat Braun Strowman because a big babyface needs to beat Braun for his first loss, his first major singles loss. It needs to be from a big babyface, and you can't have Strowman beat Kevin Owens because then you give Strowman the title, and for one, Kevin Owens needs that title, and for two, it's too early for Braun to be the champion, especially when we have other plans going on. Now, if this wasn't WrestleMania season, you could make an argument for Braun being the champion, but anyway, it is WrestleMania season, and you can't do it just yet. Sasha Banks versus Nia Jax is, I don't know where they're going between them two, between that story between them two. I can see the proposed rumor for WrestleMania, like I've said a couple of times, is Sasha, Nia, Bayley versus Charlotte for the title. All four. And I can see if that's the end game. But I'm just afraid that they're going to use Sasha to push Nia way up, which I like that they're doing, but there has to be a point where you have to pull back because it'll be too much, because Sasha will suffer too much. It hasn't happened yet, but I think that it's starting to creep that way. Sasha needs to get a big pinfall over her. And by the way, the $1 million question, who rang the bell? The Tornado tag match, I love the idea, but I hope this was the blow off for this feud between basically Enzo and Rusev. Is it not funny that the first week that Rusev comes out and says, "Well, I'm handsome, Rusev," he gets his nose broke? Isn't it funny how life works out like that? Now, I hate that Rusev has to suffer with a broken nose. Any broken bone, I don't want to see anybody get hurt any. I don't want to see even the tiniest cut on anybody, because those hurt worse than the big ones sometimes, especially if they're paper cuts. But regardless, I don't want to see anybody get hurt. But it's just kind of funny that's like something that would happen to me. It's like I would come out and say, "Well, I'm handsome, Chaos," and then I do something, I shatter my face, and now I'm not as handsome because I got to wear a thing over my face to protect it, and it's ugly, and it makes me look ugly. This is kind of a callback with dashing Cody Rhodes, FYI. Triple H, Rollins, Joe. Triple H came out and gave probably one of the best promos that we have seen on Raw in a long time. And that is not up for debate. Because, just to be quite honest with you, Triple H when you really sit down and think about it, like after the fact, Triple H sounds like a loony person for everything that he said. But he says it with such compassion and such conviction that he really believes it. Excuse me, he really believes what he's saying, and that makes the viewer believe it. And the heels have to believe that what they are doing is the right thing. And Triple H is one of the all-time greats at getting his point across. That he is right, and by God, if anybody stands up against him, you're wrong, and he's going to prove it. Seth Rollins versus Samoa Joe. Now, this makes me hopeful that we will not get Samoa Joe versus John Cena at WrestleMania. Now, there's still a lot of time between now and Mania. I mean, it's January the 30th. WrestleMania is, April the 3rd, 2nd or 3rd, something like that. We still got Fastlane, which is on March 5th. There's still a lot of time, even minus Fastlane. There's still just a lot of time between now and then. So anything can happen. I hope we still do get the Seth Rollins Triple H match, because I think it is going to be awesome to see. Samoa Joe, who knows what he's going to do. Brock Lesnar's tied up. So I don't know. There's enough time between now and then to get Samoa Joe over for him to call out John Cena, or for John Cena to call him out. Quite honestly, either way, the way Cena's been burying people here lately, it wouldn't surprise me. And I really don't want to watch SmackDown tomorrow night. I have a feeling that Cena's going to be the first on SmackDown, and it's going to blow. Blow, blow, blow. Anyway. That's all I've got for the 4-on-1. Come back here tomorrow night. Hopefully, I'll have the SmackDown 4-on-1 up then. But, you know what? Until then, deuces. Like I always say, cats out.